In this video, we'll show you how to install a high-performance Rockford Fosgate audio system on a Harley-Davidson Road King. Welcome back. I'm Eric, and today we'll show you how to install an HD14RK Stage 2 on this 2020 Road King. We'll also show you the steps necessary to install an HD9813RK Stage 2. The installation process is nearly identical between the two kits, and we'll be highlighting the differences between the two. We'll get started by removing the seat using a number 2 Phillips and a 10mm socket to disconnect the battery negative. Alright, now we'll go ahead and detach both bags completely from the motorcycle using the quick release mounts. Now we'll prepare our saddlebag on the right brake side for installation of our main harness. For 2014 and newer motorcycles, use the 14 Plus template and align the hole so it conforms to the inner side of the bag. For 1998 to 2013 motorcycles, use the 98 to 13 template and align it in the same fashion, noting the notch for the bag's hinge. Make sure to wedge the template underneath the bag lid for accurate placement. Once you determine the location of the template, remove the adhesive strips from the rear and stick it in place. Then, using the supplied 1/8 inch drill bit, drill the 3 pilot holes as indicated on the template. Once done, remove the template and use the included 3/4 inch hole saw to cut out the center hole. If you have problems removing the template, open the lid to grab the edge for removal. Remember to cut out the center hole since the outer ones will be used to secure the harness later. Alright, now we'll prepare our saddlebag on the left clutch side for installation of our speaker harness. To get started, we'll measure approximately 3.5 inches down from the front of the bag's quick release. You can also use a Sharpie marker to help with measuring. This ensures that the harness is kept away from any moving parts. Now this may vary slightly based on the belt on the clutch side. We'll need a 3/4 inch hole for installation of the wiring grommet. So we'll start with the drill bit and then switch to a step-up bit to increase the hole to the appropriate size. Alright, now we're ready to run our main wiring harness. To get started, we'll remove the service covers from both sides. We'll start on the brake side by routing the harness through the front right side of the battery tray. We'll continue along the frame, going under the saddlebag mount and over the shock absorber. Make sure you have enough length to connect the harness to the bag without any excess slack. Now switch to the clutch side and remove 2 1/2 inch bolts holding the fuse panel in place. This will allow us to run the speaker cable on the back side of the fuse panel, exiting near the rear frame. Make sure you have enough length to insert the grommet into the bag without any excess slack or hitting the drive belt. Now we're ready to wire our amplifier remote turn on. There are two adapters included in your kit. The rectangular harness is for 1998 to 2013 models, and the rounded harness is for 2014 and newer. To get started, we'll locate the connector on the battery tray that mates with our harness. Disconnect the harness and insert the adapter in between. Be sure that the connectors snap in place. Then we'll take the remaining wire and attach it to the blue connector on the main wiring harness. Once that's done, go ahead and zip tie your main wiring and speaker harnesses and reinstall the service panels. Okay, now we're ready to install our amplifier harness to the saddlebag. Position the connector with the harness facing the rear of the bag. Press the plug into the cutout, making sure the mounting holes align with the 1/8 inch holes we drilled earlier. Then, using the long screws included in the kit with the built-in washers, secure the connector using a number 2 Phillips screwdriver. Be careful the screws are snug but not over-tightened. We'll proceed by mounting the bags to the motorcycle, making our main harness connection on the right brake side and inserting the speaker wire grommet on the left clutch side. Alright, we're ready to prepare our bag lids for speaker installation. The process we'll run you through is the same for 1998 to 2013 models, as well as our 2014 or newer models like the one we have here. We designed this template to assist you in making the perfect cut. To get started, we'll use 3M masking tape to cover the top of the bag lid so we don't scratch the paint. Next, we'll position our template on top, making sure the front lip of the template is sitting firmly against the ridge of the bag lid. Push on the corner, front, and top of the template to make sure it's properly positioned with no play on the lid. Then, mark the 2 pilot holes on top. Remove the template and use a 1/8 inch bit to pre-drill the holes. Then secure the template in place using a number 2 Phillips and the small screws provided in the kit. Now that we have that done, we're ready to cut our bag lids. To get started, use a T15 Torx to detach the top half of the fabric hinge as a precaution, and place a bin liner inside the bag to catch all the debris. We'll use a 5/16 bit to drill our pilot holes. Then, using a jigsaw with a fine-toothed blade, we'll start cutting, being careful to follow along the template while staying within the guides. To maintain accuracy, do not cut the adjoining segments of the template until all the guides are done. This will avoid fitment issues, especially at the corners. All right, we're making progress. So now that we have that done, we're ready to install our speakers. First, we'll inspect our cutouts, making sure there are no burrs around the edges, and test fit our grill. Then we'll open the bag lid and position the mounting ring and grill in place to make sure that they are properly aligned. The grill goes on the outside and the mounting ring on the inside, where we'll sandwich them together to the bag lid. Using a number 2 Phillips, secure the assembly using 4 of the smaller screws supplied in the kit. Now be careful not to over tighten these. Once that's done, we'll align the speaker and basket protector assembly with the speaker terminals facing toward the rear of the bike. Then we'll secure it to the mounting ring from the inside using 4 long button head screws with the built-in washer. All right, now that we're done with that, we'll start on the right brake side and use the 2-wire pigtail from the main harness and connect the red wire to the positive terminal, that's marked with the red dot, and the black to the negative terminal. Then we'll use a T15 Torx to reattach our fabric hinge. On the left clutch side, we'll use the pigtail included in the amp mounting kit to connect the 6x9. Now attach this cable to the harness we installed earlier and snap it into place. Then proceed to connect your positive and negative terminals to the speaker and reattach the fabric hinge like you did on the previous side. Now you'll notice there are some extra cables supplied in the bag led kit, but we won't be using them on this install. All right, now we're ready to install our amp carrier. We'll get started by cleaning the back of the brake side saddlebag with alcohol and a lint-free cloth. Now, you'll notice on the amp mounting base, there's a small retainer clip on the bottom and flaps on the sides. The bottom one is so that you can easily remove the amplifier once it's mounted. The 2 side flaps will keep the amp centered inside the saddlebag. Now we'll start by marking with tape 2 inches down from the saddlebag's lip. Position the base so the flaps are centered but not touching the sides, so it prevents them from vibrating. Pre-install a zip tie onto one of the side flaps, then remove the backing tape and secure the base in place. Okay, now we're ready to tune and install our amplifier. Now we need to tune the amp first because the amp will be hard to adjust once it's mounted. Now we offer this free amp tuning guide that's available in the description of this video and through this kit's product details page at rockfordfosgate.com. Once we're done tuning the amp, we'll remove the included power connector and plug in the power harness and speaker harnesses. Connect purple-red to the rear speaker output and the white-gray to the front speaker output. Slide the amplifier into the retainer clip and use a number 2 screwdriver to secure the top using the 2 provided screws. Once the amp is secure, connect the remaining input harness to the amplifier's front input jack. Once everything is cleaned up, snap the cover in place. All right, we're in the home stretch. So now we're ready to install our Bluetooth module and clean up our wiring. To get started, clean off a section of the bag lid with alcohol and lint-free cloth. Remove the adhesive strips and secure the Bluetooth module to the bag lid. Then, using a T15 Torx, secure the Bluetooth harness using the provided cable stay. Finally, secure the harness using the provided adhesive mounts and zip ties. Now we'll move over to the clutch side saddlebag and clean up our wiring there as well. Once you're done with that, we've included some replacement warning stickers for installation inside. All right, now that that's done, we're ready to make our battery connections and finish up. First, connect the power cable to the positive terminal and reconnect our negative cable with our amp ground. Now you'll notice there's another harness not used in this installation, so we'll just tuck this away. Once that's done, we'll put everything back in place. Now we're ready to connect our audio and test the system. Now we designed this system to connect directly to your mobile device via wireless Bluetooth. To get started, simultaneously press and hold the Bluetooth button while turning on the motorcycle and accessory for approximately 5 seconds. The Bluetooth module will audibly chime and the 2 outer LEDs will begin to flash, indicating it's in discovery mode. For iOS, go to Settings, Bluetooth, and select RF-BTRCA. On Android, go to Settings, Connected Devices, Bluetooth. Then select Pair New Device and choose RF-BTRCA. Choose Allow to Pair. Again, once the pairing process is complete, you will hear an audible chime and all 3 LEDs will illuminate. Now that you're paired, you can play your music from your library, Pandora, Spotify, or any other service. The volume on your system is controlled exclusively through your mobile device. For convenience, we also offer the PMX-BTUR that allows you to control volume, track up and down, and play/pause your music, giving you full control of your audio direct from your handlebars. Now, let's finish up this install by putting the seat back on and getting this Road King back on the road. As you can see, that install is pretty straightforward. If you prefer to have a professional do the install for you, we have a network of authorized Rockford Fosgate dealers that can be found on our website. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact our technical support. They can be reached Monday through Friday at 1-800-669-9899 or through live chat at the bottom of our website at rockfordfosgate.com. Until next time, I'm Eric. We'll see you again soon.